My name is Kaye Ross.
I'm Dennis Furia.
I'm Ben Merkel.
And you are listening to The Level. It's a podcast for people who love video games. Rocking it 3 style tonight here.
Yeah.
Firmly spring, at least here, which is good for my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I am amazed at my ability to every year forget how bad it gets without sun. And then it's like, oh, right. I remember how to be a human now.
Yeah. No, Ben and I were talking about it, and it's just like, oh, like it makes a huge difference, not just to be outside and like the sun is good, but just to like see families and stuff outside. Like the more activity, just like people doing stuff when you're out. I don't know. That is something that I am noticing is feeling good here in the city at the very least.
Yeah. I think the farther north you live, the bigger the swings are and like number of hours of daylight per day. And so, yeah, really appreciate summertime here.
Yeah. I feel like I came up here at like the exact right time where I caught like the very end of the winter stuff, and then now just like I've got the full like good season here in front of me.
When I moved here originally, it was also the beginning of March, and like I saw all these like depressed people when I got here. You know, like they looked all downtrodden and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong? It's looking great outside now.
It's a new city. It's so exciting. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done an awful lot. Something just in the process of getting my apartment put together, you know, ongoing there. This is something that I would recommend people do because it was very nice. Go through old photos. Like if you have like physical one, printed one. So what I've got a bunch of old photos, just the cast offs from family, right? Duplicates and things like that. And never really spent a lot of time looking through them, but I wanted to put together like a photo gallery wall. And so I, had a bunch of frames and I went through and just like looked at old photos, and I have like digitally, my phone, every, not just like photo I've taken, but every like image I've downloaded, or screenshot I've taken for the past 16 years. And I look at none of them ever.
Yeah.
Right. But actually like going through and looking at like old family photos and stuff, and you're like, oh, that was fun. Like, more of this, I guess like between that and vinyl, getting into vinyl music, it's like, I don't know. Touching physical stuff is good, I guess, is my like corny thing that I'm saying right now.
Movement towards the tactile.
I mean, or at least a reminder. And I got the gallery wall done, and it's really cool to put that up.
Nice.
I have it there.
What is your favorite photo on the wall, if you have one?
It's like a few photos, and like this goes like way back. But like anything, so I've got something that me and my dad and my brother and uncle, like the dad side of the family, would do. He had like a hat, I believe still has like a 14-foot like speedboat kind of thing. We would go tubing, and so there are two of them, one of myself and one of Chris, my brother, taken from the back of the boat of us like holding on as like little kids, and we're
it could have gone us screaming and crying from the back door, or absolutely loving it from the tube.
So photos of us loving it, so those are good. Like you kind of have to look. It's not because we're out there, we're at the end of the line, but those are going and doing that stuff, going and tubing at Pleasant Hill State Park in Ohio.
Nice.
Incredibly good memories about that. So
fun.
That's sweet.
That's what I've got. Let's see here, Ben, how about you?
Share the sentiments of it was nice to go outside this weekend. We went down to Olympia for a day trip, and super lovely. That's about it, I guess.
Cool.
Nothing too crazy.
Nice. I don't know where Olympia is. You said down, so I assume south.
Yeah, it is between the two of us, almost halfway, but maybe a little bit closer to Seattle. It's like a little over an hour drive for us, and then maybe closer to 2 hours for you.
Okay. Cool.
I realize now with both of you on the West Coast, I'm going to start getting a dose of my own hyperlocal medicine as you two start comparing notes and it gets more and more specific. We'll recognize less.
At the very least, 4 of us, the 3 of us here, including Moxie, will always have the Cincinnati and Ohio hyperlocal stuff for the past, right? Yeah,
you get to build it for the West Coast too.
Yeah,
and the West Coast apparently got all the luck because my week sucked. It was spring break, which should be cool, and we were like, we'll just hang low, we'll do some local stuff, and then the entire week, I don't think there was ever less than 2 people that had the flu.
Oh no!
So yeah, I mean, I was up, I think 4 times in a single night. With various kids throwing up and stuff like that. So,
that's awful.
Yeah, dodge the worst of it myself, which is knock on wood.
Yeah.
However, yeah, it's been Flu B is fucking wrecking everyone this year, and it's not just our family. Like catching up with people on the playground or whatever, and it's like that was everyone's spring break.
Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Which I try not to catastrophize and be like, yes, this is a direct result of us gutting, it's not the CDC and stuff. But
it's not that.
Yeah, also, it doesn't feel good to know that no one is, looking at this from a grander scale.
Yeah.
When,
also, some years flu strains are just really, really bad, and there's nothing you can do. It's a roll of the dice. It would inspire more confidence if there was not a proximate cause, right?
Yeah, there's some kind of freakonomics thing. It's like, every other year is incredibly hard to predict or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget the exact of it, but
I just know the flu vaccine is the best guess, right? Which is not a reason not to take it. It's just the way it has to work. Yeah. You're not the only person who has gone through. I guess this has just been a really bad flu season in general too. You just heard a lot of stories about people getting really sick.
Yeah. So that was my. Honestly, though, it's like, oh, thank God we didn't plan some big elaborate trip.
I know, right?
And then spend it throwing up. Like, at least we were throwing up in the comfort of our own home. So,
that does count for something at the very least.
It does. Well, I mean, I heard a story from one mom they were in Florida. And not only could they do nothing in Florida, but like they were trying to visit her sister. And so they brought flu with them down.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. But man, am I ready for everyone to sleep through the night and not have to deal with bodily fluids that I don't choose to in the middle of the night. So yeah.
Yeesh.
Womp womp. Let's talk about games. Games would help me get my mind off of that, I think.
And their listeners, too.
Yeah, I know, right? So let's do the regular kind of show. What with the grind, the multiplayer, and the unboss. And why don't we get started with The Grind, where we talk about the games we have been playing over the last period of time or so. I have something new.
Okay.
I picked up, mostly just out of curiosity, because I've not played this kind of game really. I picked up Marathon.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you touch Arc Raiders?
No, I didn't.
So this is like two paths in a wood diverged, and
maybe, yeah. Like people said a lot of really cool stuff about Arc Raiders. The AI stuff put me off of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Apparently they're moving away from it. They're like, like the AI kind of voice stuff. It's just not working for us. So we're going to stop using it.
Yeah. But your CEO can never not have been a tool about it. So,
right. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. And it's not like Bungie is especially, valorous. But what with the layoffs and their fucking luxury cars and yachts and stuff like that for the CEOs, not looking especially great. So a little bit of like reservation about that, but I was just really curious. The only like extraction shooter-ish kind of thing that I have played was the Forever Winter. And that is like very specifically, it's like horror. You're not supposed to fight anything. That's the one where it's like the humanity is struggling to survive underground, and you're venturing out into wars between robots that have ravaged the surface. So like, but that is like really slow. It's like third person, and it's just about scavenging and like using the cover of battle to avoid attention and detection. Whereas Marathon is more of a kind of like a standard, like this is like a Destiny extraction mode kind of deal. I've never played any Destiny, so I basically nothing that Bungie has done between Halo 3 and this. I've not touched any of it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Destiny. I would not recommend trying to catch up on it.
No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, this is, Marathon is an old video game franchise. This is what Bungie did before Halo. The idea being, here's this big space colony where the AI has gone rogue. You deal with that in the main games. And this is like, your scavengers who are being sent in these, biomechanical bodies, remote controlled. You're sending them to go and do like recovery on the planet that the colony crashed into or something like that. It's unclear. But you've got the hyper corporate, lives don't matter at all kind of traditional cyberpunk kind of stuff going on, but you're being sent out into kind of these big zones with squads or solo and kind of these faction missions and objectives that you are trying to that you take on for each individual run, and everybody kind of has their own set of them as they're going. And you're deployed into these zones that have a lot of kind of like protection, and they're being guarded by like automated, basically space UN robot defenses that you are, taking out in order to get into these facilities and comb through them for whatever these different factions are giving you. So I never played an extraction shooter. So like the high stakes, like I really enjoy this gun. I hope nothing bad happens to me.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if anything happened to that gun.
It'd be a real shame. God, it's so frustrating. I was doing well, right? Like I had like several runs, they're early runs. So I imagine they're supposed to be really easy, et cetera, et cetera. I was doing good. I was getting a loadout that felt pretty good, and just got deployed on this one run with one person who disconnected immediately. And then we got to the very end. We were about to extract. The guy was insistent on going towards an extraction point that was guarded. So like when you activate it, a whole bunch of automated guards are sent out. You have to like do combat while you wait for the extraction to start.
Okay.
I got downed, and the person decided it was more important for him to extract than to kill the one robot who was left and save me.
Wow.
So lost all my shit.
Wow.
So you got the real extraction shooter experience.
I got that. Yeah. And now I have to like build myself back up, which is
okay. So the conclusion wasn't, I'll never touch this again. Fuck this game.
Yeah. I haven't picked it up since then, but that was like 2 days ago, and I've been busy.
That was my conclusion of it.
Yeah. Had you played this, or just was that you with any extraction shooter ever?
It's just reminding me of the perils of trusting other people and playing multiplayer games.
Yeah. Well, I went in, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to trust this other person. I want to just like, I was doing a mission to open up another faction, right? I was like, okay, well, they'll probably have some, real low difficulty stuff, so I can get some gear. I just need to do this one objective. So I was like, I'll deploy solo. I was like, okay, cool. I deployed. I needed to get across the map. The perimeter map is what it's called. It's like the intro easy area. I got about halfway across it, and I just got fucking just one shot out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, you're solo, but like there are other solo runners who are going to be going after you like just to to kill you and take your shit.
Yeah.
Joke's on him. I went with like a stock loadout. Like they're called like sponsor loadouts, where that you can just get for free from whatever faction you're working for. So like he didn't get shit out of it. It just wasted 7 minutes of my time.
something journey, not destination, something,
Like, I have faith because it seems like a lot of people play these and that they're fun, but it just seems so toxic by design where it's like the kill or be killed sort of thing of it.
I can see it if I'm playing with if I'm playing with people that I know, like I can see the potential for like, we really have to, stick together kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My bad for playing with puppies, for just like randomly matchmaking with people.
Yeah.
That's these games usually are two incredibly different experiences. If you're playing with people you actually know IRL and would be able to text and say what the fuck if they screw you over,
right?
And the randos.
That's funny.
I'm trying to think, because your description makes me wonder. I can't think of a single extraction shooter where getting downed, killed, whatever doesn't mean that you are permanently out of that run of the game. Like it's got the Fortnite battle royale DNA of like what you die. I wonder what would happen if like you down someone and they're going to be you're like down for a 30-second timer, minute-long timer, and you can loot one item from their backpack and then like go because they're going to be able to respawn or get back up after a certain amount of time.
So you haven't played one where like getting down took you out, or
no? I haven't played one where getting down doesn't take you out.
Okay,
so just it is a binary, like if a player kills you, you're done. And they get all your stuff, and then your solution is to queue into the next game.
So you're positing like a what if this was just a temporary setback, and you could come back in, hunt them back down, right?
Exactly, because then you got to worry if you've left a trail of bodies behind you. There's more and more people incentivized to come after you back, which could be even more toxic somehow. I don't know, but
then you start running into like we're butting up against the I guess you can't patent actual humans having a vendetta. I was just saying the Middle Earth what is it, Nemesis system, right?
Oh yeah.
But just to be like, okay, well you get extra points if you kill the guy who got you, right? As like a revenge kill,
or like now you've got
that.
You get a buff in damage against everyone who has killed you who you haven't killed yet, or something like that. Like just
right. If you're working with a functional squad, like the other people are supposed to, kill the threat, and then hopefully you've not bled out or desynced or whatever it is in this, and they can come back and revive you, and you get a certain number of revives, as you go. It's just this is a like not a problem. It's just a function of the way that solo play works, I guess. Yeah. Not on me. I thought it was like legit just going to be solo, not that this was going to be like a like a PV. I had not run into enemy squads in when I was playing squatted up with people. I had not run into any other human players who were adversarial to us. So the fact that this was PvPvE was a little bit of a surprise, like literally a bolt out of the blue. One shot. Didn't even see where the guy came from.
Yeah.
The one consolation is even if you go in completely wary and knowing that's the case,
they're still going to get
to you.
Yeah.
Every couple of runs, that's going to happen.
But like as far as like the feel of the shooting stuff goes, it's really nice and snappy. Like the visual design in this game is fucking amazing. It's really good. Like it's incredibly colorful.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, like everything kind of has this like super bright kind of like plastic feel to it almost, which is actually really good for like visibility to it.
Yeah. I remember early on the visual design, there were those bursts of color, but then it was like that was like accents to something that was overall very gray. So it sounds like the world is actually all that colorful.
Yeah. It's like, so cool. Like maybe some of like the landscape stuff, again, I've only been to the one zone and it's like just outdoor nature kind of stuff. So it's like green and stuff, but like all of the human made architecture is almost like kind of obnoxiously colorful, which is good. I will always take an opinionated visual design over something that is, flat. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a downer because this discussion is reminding me, like, does Marathon have its own AI asset problem?
No, I looked.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah. Bungie has a lot of things, but I don't
plagiarized
think
art.
Oh, was it? Okay, cool. Yeah.
There was like, accidentally we left in this work from a person who's not at the company anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're sorry, we won't do that. So whatever. Yeah. Like I said, not trying to be a bummer.
Yeah. No, there's always something. So like there are different classes you can play as too. Like most of the people I've played as have just kind of started as like the general assault one. I forget the name of the class that I am, but the kind of like summary for it was like combat anarchist. Is the little like 2-word like little bio kind of deal for this. So like they're really heavily movement focused. They have a double jump. Their kind of special attack that they do, not their ultimate, but just like this. You can do this and it's on a cooldown kind of thing. Is like it pushes enemies away. Like it's like distance management kind of deal. And I've been enjoying that. I think they're called shells, not classes or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. But there are ones like there's a thief that gets like a grappling hook. Like these do feel appreciably different, at least in the basics, right?
And it doesn't feel yet like there is one class that like all the sweats or whatever are gravitating to.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't played enough in order to see. And if I continue playing this, I do not see myself beginning to care.
Yeah. What about like mission design? You were talking about what you were trying to do in a drop. Is that fairly directed? Like, do you go in each time with a pretty clear idea of what you need to do, or is it more make your own fun?
So there are a couple of different ways that this can like articulate. So like you pick your faction, you pick your faction goal, like which for me was like in order to make contact with this new faction, you need to recover one of their lost like ID cards from like some of the personnel, and like this entails going to a specific building that is overrun with like they're called ticks, the flood that's overrun with the flood. And you've got to like find that and then use it to access a certain part of the facility to go in and, I don't know, press a button, get the data, something fucking whatever.
This could have been an email.
Yeah, it really could have. Yeah. So there's that. Then there's also just generally you're always wanting to do extraction shooter kind of stuff, which is just get as much value as you can. You're looking for things that you can sell. You're looking for new weapons that you can get. You're also looking for salvage that can be bartered for supplies for later runs.
How limited is the inventory? Like, how quickly is it before you're like, is this better than what I have and have to throw it away sort of thing? Or
early on, like the inventory, I think you have like 16 slots in it, and some stuff takes up multiple slots. But like you find backpacks that can expand it. It's pretty liberal with handing out backpack upgrades for you. You're still trying to figure out. You're still trying to do the quick comparison, kind of deal. But it's also pretty quick to be like, okay, I'm not going to use this weapon, and what is the value on this? Everything has the loot grades, so okay, this is gray, this is trash. I don't need to share my inventory with this kind of deal. But looking takes time, and looking into a container. It does take time. So like it does that thing where it slowly reveals, the slots of the container you're looking at, and that's a stat you can improve in order to reveal what's in there more quickly.
Nice.
I was talking about that on stream when I streamed the Forever Winter, and I was like, oh man, this is really cool. It's like simulating, how quickly you search by unveiling it. And somebody in the chat was like, that's every extraction shooter. Like you are just commenting, wow, it's kind of neat. I'm seeing the game from the player's point of view, or from my character's point of view. It's just,
I have twin sticks I can manipulate things with.
Whoa! I can look and move independently. That's ridiculous. It's like real life.
Actually, surprisingly not for me. Usually,
yeah.
Way more dexterous.
What's it called in driver's ed? Target fixation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just move where I look. Yeah.
Oh God. So some of the funniest moments, and also some of the most terrifying, have been a parent watching their kid on a bike have target fixation take over.
It was like, no, steer, correct, correct, nope. Oh, that's the curb. Boy. Yeah.
It was only funny because nobody was meaningfully hurt.
So you pick the objective you want to go in for. You are always looking to get valuable things for after a run to sell. And then there are, you've got like a mission handler AI kind of thing that will say like, oh, there is an opportunity for, tremendous value over at this point or whatever. And it's just randomly stuff will be thrown onto the map as like as an attractive nuisance to like, bring you off course and do risk reward kind of stuff. Yeah.
If you double down now, you could make a lot of money.
Yeah. And I guess that gets back to a little bit of it. Just like, I'm trying to decide if the loot system is like, if the loot system has its hooks in me at all, because it does have what feels like the Diablo problem, which is not motivating to me at all. I don't care about an anonymous item that has a color value attached to it with random stats or whatever. Like that is not like particularly motivating to me. And so I don't know how much this is going to, maybe I'll find something that will completely change my brain chemistry or whatever, but I don't see myself suddenly becoming a gambler and being like, oh boy, yes, I found this thing that is going to change it up.
Is it purely stats that are differentiated in the guns, like more damage, like reload speed, like that type of thing? Or is there any sort of like, this gives you a special move or a special ability that you can only get with this gun?
I haven't seen special moves or special abilities. That doesn't mean that it's not there, but there are special ones that use like different kinds of ammo. And one of the items that I lost when that guy completely fucked me over was like an assault rifle that had bullets that like lightly homed in on enemies and stuff. So it does seem like there's going to be a little bit of change in utility from that. Yeah. So something that I do like about it is that the runs are half an hour at most. Right. So like
that's good.
I have not sat down and I only have like 2-3 hours in this. And that is just, I want to sit down and do a run. And if it's good or it's bad, like that's the amount of time that I had dedicated to do it. That is like a perfect amount of, I'm going to sit down and play a shooter to me. So it's nice to have that limiting factor that is very goal focused and not just, I'm going to sit down and play this because I want to be playing it, and playing it is,
that's good.
Well, and how much agency do you have on what you bring into each run? Do you get to a point where it's like, oh man, I'm kitted, so I probably need to take it very seriously every time I drop, or is it, I can just leave all that stuff at home, take trash, and just do a quick half-hour throwaway run?
Yeah, you can pick your loadouts. You can decide what's left in your vault and what's not. And you can even just like, if you want to get those sponsored, the sponsored loadouts or kits or whatever they are, that just be like prefab character loadouts. It's not always just, hey, here's the trash tier stuff. You can spend some of the in-game currency that you get from selling salvage and whatnot, in order to get like a better, just a better set of stuff that's still throwaway, but like I don't feel like wagering anything right now. Right.
Yeah. I'm very curious, Kaye, with your penchant for, planning, thinking ahead. You're the one who usually anticipates the things other people don't anticipate. I could see that connecting really hard with an extraction shooter, where it's like, okay, here's the like, really difficult raid. I've been planning this for weeks. I've got each kit item set aside. I know exactly what I need my squad mates to bring. Like, I could see that scratching a very specific itch.
That might scratch a very specific itch. That also relies on other people, and like, I don't. If I played it with people that I know, which I'm not against that, or played it with people from the community, not against that either. I don't want to boss them around and tell them what to do because we're here to have fun, So like, I don't know. For me, like my goal when I sit down to play this is not, I need to walk away with as many credits as possible. And, every run needs to yield me a much better weapon that I'm going to take into the next one. And I'm looking for the FM 48.2 instead of the FM 48.0, right? That's just not me. Like when I have sat down to play, it's like, okay, I want to accomplish my goal in this. That'd be cool. But really what I want to do is extract. I want to feel like I won this, and winning is, going in, spending time playing this and then getting out, which is a little bit like saying, I want to go and spend a half hour at this casino. And I will consider it a win if I walk out having broken even. Right. Mm-hmm. Or if I walk out of, a half hour at this casino having only spent $10 or whatever, right?
I can't tell if that analogy is putting it in a positive light or a negative light for the game, though. But
these fucking loot games are gambling, right?
Yeah.
Like literally when I talk, when you guys asked about, so how much control do you have? Like it's a wager. I'm wagering that I'm going, I think that with this objective that I have and this map and, whatever, I'm wagering that I'm going to take this in and then walk away with it or more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't know that I think that's value neutral. I think that's just an understanding of the model. Right?
Yeah. I guess it's like the difference in game design is it's just more like an aggressive style of game design or a more competitive style of game design where it's like, because I think the controlling factor is like your skill at this, where it's like, okay, even if you lose a set, if you're good and you can kind of grind out consistently progression, then eventually you'll accrue more than you lose. And then that's like the forward progression. But what happens if you suck at this game and you just get killed all the time? It's like,
you're just guttering. Yeah.
It's like, I'm guessing there might not be a mechanism yet to like still have progression for those types of people.
Yeah, to still bounce you back or something. I think the sponsored kits are just there to make sure that you have something to go in with.
Yeah.
Well, and if there's like class levels or stuff like that, I don't know what the exact design is, but it's like, okay, I went in, I got killed, I didn't bring anything else, anything out, but I, got half a level in this class, which will get me a new something.
And again, because it's this kind of game, there are all kinds of like just alternate progressions too. It's not just what you find, but like it has like it's like the data vault or something or other. It's the codex. Individual factions have their own like little like just like submissions that you're working to across missions. So it's like, oh, I've killed X number of this. That's working towards basically an achievement that is going to get me, I've done enough of this. And then, this actually gets a really good, this gets a really good reward, a gun that's going to be a little bit above my usual curve, that I'm going to get that I'm possibly going to lose on the next run, but it's going to give me a better shot because it just has better stats.
Interesting.
Well. Yeah.
So the completing like meta objectives like that rewards you with like guns to take in. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's guns, sometimes it's cosmetics or whatever. It's a little sticker for your gun or some bullshit out. That doesn't motivate me at all.
Is there ever like permanent progression, like with what the sponsored kit is, where it's like that gets elevated if you do a certain amount of progress, or?
I don't know. I think that because the sponsored kits are tied to the factions, and there are like 6 or 7 factions that all seem to have their own kind of specialization. It does seem that like progressing within a faction by doing their missions and by filling out their codex will get you better access to better sponsored kits is my best guess based on what I've seen. I don't know if I'm just rounding up and bringing my assumption into it because, again, remember, it was a surprise to me that there was a PvP element to this.
Yeah. What about like free to play or battle pass BS? Like this is a $40 game at the base tier. Are they then trying to have you buy extra things in it to have cosmetics and stuff?
That stuff is there. Like there's a deluxe pass, and there's like a premium currency that you can sometimes get called silk. I've not looked into it because I am absolutely sure that I'm not spending another red cent on this.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing anything that's going to get in my way, but I also haven't seen like what you can buy with silk with the premium currency that you cannot get with just the general credits.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's literally just, that doesn't look like anything to me. Like, that's none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the game's store page, and now the little hamsters in my brain are starting to run on their wheels.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe don't or do. It just depends. I'll play it with you. I'll play it with you.
Yeah. You haven't done a good enough job warning me away from this game. So
it's fun.
This is your fault. Yeah.
It's fun. I enjoyed the time with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, oh no, Kaye has grabbed my hand. It is making me press the add to cart. Yeah.
That is the canon version in my mind.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
I'm gonna get an update on my car here real quick.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I don't know. So yeah, Marathon's neat. It's I'm having a good time with it so far without having a real reckon on how much more I'm going to play.
Okay.
I'd like it to be more. It's nice to have it as like I got it like just over the weekend, and it was nice just for a few days sitting down like, oh, I'm going to play a run, and then playing a run.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We're going to plan this as part of the episode.
Well, we need to do more talks of Commando as well.
Well, that there's an embarrassment of riches right now.
Yeah, no, there's good shit. I don't know. That's doing a lot of stuff that's out of character for me. The only other thing that I've really played, I finished up on stream Resident Evil Requiem.
Oh, nice.
I want to spare people any spoiler kind of things, but also I want to provide insight into my overall arc. The first half of that game is a lot stronger than the second, both in play and in story. I'm not going to go into further detail, but the second part of that, the story and stuff is really like, I don't know, you're making some kind of dumb choices.
Are these choices that impact the greater RE canon, or is this like dumb but self-contained dumb?
It's dumb within it. There's some that's like, retconning with the greater RE canon, but like that's so impossible to take especially seriously. Basically, they could do anything, and I would say, "Yep, no, that's Umbrella for you." So like. But just like even within the game, there are some decisions that make it like, oh, you guys could have, you guys maybe could have thought past like the first or second idea on this one. Yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah. Do you think time and nostalgia will put it in the campy RE dumb but fun category, or is this like? You think it'll stay sour?
It's impossible to tell. I don't know. This does feel like it is trying to be like a last word on a chapter of Resident Evil.
Interesting.
But it's called Requiem, right?
Yeah.
Like just it's even in the title about a certain sense of finality to it. But it's impossible to say because like my feeling on like even like Resident Evil 8 kind of shifts depending on like the month, right? So it just I ended Resident Evil 8 feeling like, oh yeah, that was stupid but still like fun, and as as like a theme park for the through the entire series. This, by the time it ended, it was like I can't. Oh man, just my early feelings on this. It didn't carry through. The goodwill that it earned in the first half didn't carry through in the second half. And I'm being so fucking vague here. We have a Watch Out for Fireballs premium episode coming out about this at the end of April that we're going to be recording. Listen in there, I suppose.
Is there like an ejection point where it's like stop playing it here and you can just enjoy it for what it is? Or
I wouldn't say stop playing it. I would say see what it becomes after like the first major area.
Yeah.
And decide if you want more of what that's like, I guess. Yeah.
Would you chalk it up to, hey, this feels like something that was rushed and didn't get the love that it needed to be as good as it could be? Or does this feel like, yeah, they did exactly what they wanted, but they probably shouldn't have been allowed to?
It feels like they did exactly what they wanted, but they changed their mind about 3 times, around what they thought they wanted.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it feels inconsistent throughout its runtime. There's a certain lack of focus to it that if they had picked a lane, I feel like they could have satisfied on more counts.
Are there any bright spots in that second act, or is it kind of
excellent performances? Not just from Leon's voice actor, but Grace from kind of the main villain. In this, there are some.
The way you phrased that was Grace,
the main villain.
Yeah. No. Grace is generally really good. I like her arc quite a bit. I think that I was trying to decide how I wanted to talk about who possibly seems like they're going to be. There's somebody else in play who ends up being like a little bit more of a disappointment, but that is, or at least. They are not what they initially seem, and I can't decide if it would have been better if they were what they initially seemed, or if it would have been really, really bad if they went with what it looked like. Yeah,
this is me making several jumps, but are they in some way like hedging or baiting people out for a DLC character?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Regarding the DLC, there is DLC that's going to happen. They have said that there is going to be story content for this based on like Resident Evil 7 and 8 and the disappointing DLC by and large for both of them. Like Resident Evil 8's DLC was really bad to me. And 7's, I think there were like 2 of the 4 pieces that were actually kind of okay. Yeah, I would say I don't have very high hopes for DLC coming in and addressing. I think it's going to be a little bit of a FromSoft situation where they're going to come in and not spend any time on the things that actually would serve the main narrative.
Oh no! Yeah. I mean, a brilliant start can be enjoyable even if it's not always followed up on. So.
A brilliant start can also set expectations for what the entire thing is going to be. And when they abruptly decide to stop including those cool things, it can feel like a real bummer.
Yeah. That's back of the box quote for RE9 right there.
I guess. You shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. Yeah. or like, you should apply yourself. See me after class. Yeah. That's all I've got. Marathon and Resident Evil Requiem.
Very cool.
Yeah. Who else has something new?
I have kind of something new I can talk about.
Okay.
So I have a new car in iRacing.
Yeah, you were talking about that last week. At some point, we were talking. I
think you and I were interacting, and I was also trying to pin me buying more stuff in iRacing on you. So
why?
I don't know.
We were talking.
Kaye was make me doing all this.
We were playing Toss of Commandos, and you had said that you were looking at something on iRacing, and then you said like there's a big sale on something, but it's a kind of car, like it's an F1, and you've not fucked with any F1 shit.
Yeah, Formula cars. Yeah. Oh Lord.
Is that what you ended up getting? Did you buy something just because it was on sale?
It's hard to explain.
Dennis.
It's hard to pin down why I do things. But yes,
are you lying to me or are you lying to yourself?
Yeah. You waited 5 seconds before telling me not to do something, so it sounds like you endorsed it.
Well, I think that I was waiting for you to hop on, and then I'm remembering now what I said was like, yeah, if you had taken much longer, I would have just jumped in and bought whatever. So I bought whatever. Yeah, it's I'll say a bunch of words that don't make sense to anyone that doesn't do iRacing now, but I bought the Skip Barber 2000 Formula car. And this is the first time that I've bought a car. I bought lots of tracks for iRacing, but until now I've just raced using the cars that are kind of like included in the base subscription.
Okay.
And so this is my first time making the leap to something that you have to buy the car for it. And so it is a formula car that is like a step up in power, downforce, all this stuff from the base tier formula cars that they have. But it's not such an incredible jump that now I'm like driving Formula One cars or something like that. Mm-hmm. It has highlighted for me though, that the cars they choose to start you on are very intentional in the game. And like the stuff that's included with the base, like when you join, you get these cars. None of them have any downforce. So all these formula cars don't have a ton of like downforce pushing you to grip the road and everything. And that forces you to learn how to do a good racing line and how to like, carry momentum through corners and all this stuff, because you can't just like rely on the grippiness and the downforce of the car to not have you flying off the track.
Because you're just going to swing wide, right?
Exactly. So, it's kind of now for the first time racing with a car that you kind of can just like stick it and turn, it like highlights the fact that like, oh, okay, now I understand better how all these other cars were good training cars. Like this is, I'm seeing the progression in a way I hadn't before.
It tells you how little I trust the iRacing project, that you're like, oh, these are designed very intentionally. And we think intention in creative work is good, right? That's why AI art sucks, because there's no intention to it. So like it's obviously what they're doing, but like intentions can be bad. You can have really bad intentions for somebody, right? So it's good.
But this is and they really try to position themselves as a simulator, and so very realistic and whatever. And I think it follows then like, okay, well, you want to start in a car that like you're going to have to learn good habits in. Mm-hmm. And then when you've mastered those good habits, then you can, get in a car that has a little bit more leeway, and you can be more aggressive with.
Conversely, the shape that is traced in the negative space around that is, if you try the bad car and you can't develop those skills, you spend the money that will get you a better starting point to a better place to work from, right? And going in these races.
Yeah, maybe. Certainly I'm falling prey to the spending more money piece of this, but
and that's where the big bucks are extracted, right? It's through cars, right?
I don't know. Because they are each car. A car is cheaper than a track, but I don't know. I think by default I might buy 2 or 3 tracks every time. I probably won't buy more than one car, because you want to like use what you get.
How much
content? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much is a car and how much is a track?
Yeah, so like $15-ish bucks for a track, and then $11-ish bucks for a car.
Generally. Oh wow, weird.
Yeah,
the track seems like such a better value.
Well, yeah, and in any given season, you're going to be more likely to need to buy multiple tracks. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. And, there are, the people behind iRacing really are like sim nerds. And so maybe there's something to like, it's easier to scan a track to be millimeter accurate, mm-hmm. and then race a car on that than to develop a whole new car. I don't know.
I have no idea at what level they are simulating the like individual quirks of a car's design, right?
Yeah.
Pretty freaking religiously from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But again, even as I say that would mean that the cars would be more expensive, right? I don't know. So maybe it's that because tracks is so much more to log, and
it's like
whatever.
perceived value. Like, okay, we need to charge more for a track because it feels like more, but it can't be that much more because the cars are very intensive to. Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about the money
not
side.
the economics. So has the better car made a difference for you? Are you more?
Yeah. Well, sorry, I don't want to say better as a value judgment, right? Because like when you're racing the starter tier cars, everyone is in those cars, and so it's still intense racing and good competition and very fun. It's just like in those cars, you cannot be as aggressive. You have to be more disciplined and have better habits. So.
Right.
It was exciting to me, to pick up the Skip Barber racer, which, now I can be more aggressive. I can try, some racing moves that I might not, get around people, etc. And I very quickly found out I am fucking slow in this car.
Okay.
Or said another way, everyone else is so much faster than me in this car. Mm-hmm. And so the excitement of like, oh yeah, new car is offset by like, oh right, I've spent 2 years now racing these old cars, so I'm competitive.
I need to learn this.
There's a learning curve. Yes. So I'm back in the phase of like, I'm 10 seconds behind everyone else, but I didn't fly off the track in this race, and that's a win.
There need to be multiple working definitions of success.
Yeah. But I'm finally in a car with the aero, with the downforce to like, do more aggressive racing. And I'm right back in, stay on the racing line, conserve your momentum through corners, like, be smart, because I'm just putzing along behind everyone. So,
and you're still playing this, like you have the rig, right? Like you're doing this in VR.
And VR.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am very much enjoying racing. I'm probably doing more of it, especially with this new season starting than I usually do. Like, because now I'm kind of running 2 series. I've got my sport car series and my Formula series. So I'm having a blast, and it feels good to like be mastering this new car. It's just a very different kind of fun than I was imagining in terms of like I'm not in there elbow to elbow racing with people. I'm kind of mastering a new skill slowly and easing into it. And I'll get there. It's out there for me, the hard racing, but that's the big new thing with iRacing.
Is the like speed like a noticeable difference between the cars? Like is that completely different, or?
That's a good question. So between the sports car that I drive and this Formula car I just got, they're probably more comparable-ish. So top speed up around 130 miles an hour or something like that.
Okay.
I know it's a huge jump in speed and cornering from the other Formula cars, but I haven't driven those a ton recently.
Gotcha.
So
there's a higher ceiling at the Formula cars that we just haven't got to yet.
Yep. And it is interesting now that I'm going back and forth between the 2 cars, having to remember and kind of adjust when I switch over. Like, okay, this one I can be a little more aggressive on the corners. This one I need to brake earlier. This one and keeping those 2 separate. So I don't know how Max Verstappen does it, but what can you say?
Man, you really stuck it to him, and or what high praise.
I only recognize the name from the F1 subreddit, so I see it as I scroll by.
He's an absolute savant driver. He, did a ton of winning in Formula One, but it's kind of been like, this, they've changed regulations and stuff. This is boring now. This isn't fun. I'm going to focus on racing other cars, even though he's still a very competitive driver in F1. So he's going back and forth. It was a good reference, I promise.
No, it's fine. I'm more making fun of. I'm speaking for all the people who do not know what Staph McRacken is. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, iRacing has its claws in me. We knew this. I have also been playing more Slay the Spire 2, and I've gotten to play it with some Duckfeed community members.
Yeah, so you were playing with Lucy?
Yeah, with Lucy and then with Dan over in Australia.
Okay.
I am so sorry for that accent. I apologize.
Yeah, you fucked it up. They're never playing with you again.
Probably. Actually, no, we're planning on playing after we finish recording here. So yeah, it was such a blast. Multiplayer continues to be this dark horse favorite part of the game. And with this group, we were a little slower, a little more intentional instead of just tossing whatever out there.
So a little more sober then?
A little more sober, yeah. Just slightly or completely.
Than the neighborhood people. Yeah.
Yes. And it's nice to see that it felt like the game did reward that, to the point that we were so broken, overpowered by the end of this run, that we were kind of like up until the final boss, just closing our eyes and like, oh yeah, we got this. We just killing everything in one turn. It was a real power fantasy. Lucy found a card, multiplayer specific card, where she basically, spends 3 mana, which is by default as much as you get, and then everyone else on the team does triple damage for the turn.
Wow.
And we just found creative and fun ways to break that, to get our win conditions. Up to she found a way to duplicate it on the final boss, and we were doing tripled damage for that final part. So that was how we won at the end.
What would that card do in a single player context? Or would it just not
nothing.
show up?
Yeah, it just wouldn't show up.
Because you said it was multiplayer only, right? So there's
there's a whole pool of cards that are multiplayer only.
That's cool.
So it's really fun to be able to see that side of the game. And I have this suspicion right now, if you go to the Reddit or whatever, it's very single player focused, and people complaining about this, talking about that, whatever. I kind of feel like long term there's going to be a lot more fun talking about and examining the multiplayer side of things.
Are they gray cards, or are they class specific, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So for example, I've been playing as the Necrobinder in multiplayer, which has the skeleton hand summon. And one of the multiplayer only cards that's specific to that class is you summon a skeleton hand for everyone.
Okay.
So it functions as 8 temporary hit points for everyone else that last between turns. Yeah. But yeah, each I think the regent that Lucy was playing as gave a colorless card to other players, and other stuff like that. But the regent kind of has this theme of generating and using colorless cards.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun.
Can multiple people, if you wanted to go, it's 4 of us and we're all Necrobinders, baby, as ill-advised as that might be, is that an option?
that could be good.
Yes.
Because things like
in fact, I think
stack.
That would be good, because after I created the skeleton hands for my buddies, they didn't really have anything to do. Like they just soaked some damage. If everyone was playing as Necrobinder, they could buff and continue to get value out of that. So I'm sure there are just broken, stupid things you can do with everyone playing one class already. Stacking poison, buffing the hands, all this stuff. So yeah, it was an absolute blast.
So like putting myself in the shoes of somebody who really, really loves Slay the Spire, if it is the case where like this is going to like the multiplayer is going to be the breakout thing, like I don't know, I could see feeling a little bit slighted that like, oh, all these people who are able or enjoy playing with other people, they're getting so much more than me as somebody who likes to enjoy it solo.
It's like the Squidward meme of seeing people happy outside and running around.
I'm saying it with yes, over the past few weeks I have been talking about playing more multiplayer things because apparently I've been replaced with a fucking pod.
Yes, we know you're a clone. It's okay. Just blink twice if the original Kaye is fine.
Her blood is.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I just all of this also comes with the caveat like this game is still in early access, right?
Yes.
So I have no idea how much more development there is to go. Early access means a bunch of different things possibly. But I could see being the older sibling who gets jealous because they're the focus is shifted.
I share that sort of concern because it's like I too play it on a plane, so I can see this will have like a hot period of time when it first comes out, but then what's going to happen in a couple of years? And it's like, do you queue with randoms or how does that work? Or or is multiplayer just like a dead game at a certain point?
That I've seen, there's no matchmaking. So even right now, you can't jump in with random players.
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me on that, but there's like a host and a join button. And when you click the join button, you need to like input or select a friend.
Yeah.
There's no lobby browser or what have you. I trust Megacrit, and I know they went through an extensive process of improving the first game in early access. I came to the game at the end of that process, so it had fully released before I played Slay the Spire 1. And like you can just tell how well balanced and thought out every piece of this game is.
Yeah.
It is weird being in the community during that process for Slay the Spire 2, because I almost want to ask, like, were people this negative when the first game was being balanced? Like, because, there's a lot of complaining, this is busted, or why did they do this? And
the answer is always yes.
Yeah. I just am surprised there's not more trust for Megacrit, given that I understand they did the exact same thing with the last game. So I don't know if there's a lot of people that came to the second game as their first game and are just like interacting with that way, or what.
If you really, 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 really love something, you see any possible change to it as a higher stakes than if you just kind of felt mad about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's not like pathological, but I can see the attachment to it being, something. Yeah.
And there's
they should not be review bombing features. They should not be review bombing the dev. That's shitty behavior.
It's such a wider audience this time around. I imagine that it's probably going to be shittier in general, because
this is the largest indie game launch ever. I think bigger than Silksong.
Damn!
Holy shit! Good for them.
So
fuck
yeah, they're doing all right. And again, everything I've seen from the first game says they're going to do an amazing job balancing and all that stuff over time. It is interesting that they're kind of doing it on stage for a lot of people who, are not expressing themselves too well right now.
Yeah.
And I hope that does not take away from their ability to do what they do best, because like I said, I have a lot of trust for Megacrit. And again, that's not to say that what's out there right now is not a really, really fun game. Clearly, I'm playing it a ton solo. I'm playing a ton of multiplayer, and just having a blast. So it's only going to get better from here. I really believe that.
Yeah.
So it's also led to a weird thing where I'm double fisting Slay the Spires. I've got it on my phone is only Slay the Spire 1. 2 is not.
Well, they're basically the same game, so that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And then playing Slay the Spire 2 on PC in my Steam Deck.
That sounds like triple fisting to me.
So maybe, so I, between that, all the new stuff in iRacing, I really should pick up Marathon to have another thing to play. Is what I'm hearing you guys tell me.
Throw more shit up in the air. Now you're implicating Ben too.
Well, it's like 3 Infinity games is still Infinity. So what's another forever game? You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, this is why I trust Ben for good advice. It's that kind of logical thinking that really makes
just
sense.
Incredibly sound.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing. It is a good time, and that's not even a touch on Toxic Commando stuff we've done. So there's so much good stuff out there. I will say I think Toxic Commando is less of a forever game.
No, it feels like it almost feels ridiculous the progression stuff that they put into it because of the focus of the story missions.
And I want to play those story missions on the harder difficulties. I think that will be fun. But I see it as something that I finish. And then if I'm playing it with friends, it's because it's fun to walk down memory lane.
Yeah, versus it's fun to walk new people through this shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Because I know Left 4 Dead had story in it as well, but I'm guessing from the sounds of it, it sounds like this is more emphasized on the story, and maybe there's less replayability on it because it's so focused on the story. Or
I can see the missions being really replayable. It's just not.
Okay.
I just don't see a lot of huge variety to it. But then again, I've not run the same mission multiple times, so I don't know. I mean, Dennis, you've talked about when we've gone into a mission, I started over here this other time.
Yeah,
right?
I think there is some randomization in where you start and where objectives are. The kind of big climax set piece that every mission builds towards is in the same place still.
Yeah, but also the big open spaces are very differently designed than the Left 4 Dead courses levels, which are courses, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's to Toxic Commando's credit. Sorry, I didn't mean to insert a third game here when I was wrapping up. Just to say like that there's a lot of fun stuff to play. There's a lot of fun stuff to play with other people. I'm here for that.
Yeah. So anyway, this game that I've been playing by myself for hours and hours. I only got the one. I just got Mewgenics still. But I mean, there's still stuff that I'm unlocking and doing in this one. I think last week I had mentioned that I was waiting on a timed event in
You're talking about Mewgenics.
I'm talking about Mewgenics, yeah. I think I mentioned last week that I was waiting on a timed event in Act 3. I beat that, but there's still 2 more timed events, which is expected, not like a rug pull. So I'm working through those. The one thing that I did the past week is I've started getting perfect statted kittens. So it's like you basically start with like an average of 5 for every stat, and it can be like above or below that. But you're generally progressing forward, like where over time, like generation by generation, they're slightly improving because of how the room situation works, where it's like you get slightly increased probability that you'll get the better stat between your 2 parents. So eventually it gets to the point where if you get all 7s, that's like the max that you can get for your cats. So so I think a lot of people kind of think of it on the scale of like 0 to 14, of like average of 5 to an average of 7 is like increase of 14 points. Anyway, so I've started to hit that ceiling, and so I'm more consistently breeding like the max static cats, which is good because then that kind of makes it so that you can kind of go wherever you want, or you can do a run wherever you want with like the appropriate amount of difficulty. It's not like on hard mode essentially.
Right. So with high stat cats, is there no point? Like, are they wasted on a lower level run, or is it? Can you have fun wherever you go?
You can still have fun where you go. There's basically like challenge items that you can take that will add difficulty, and so you can do that on lower levels. You could just do like a rebuilding run if you wanted to, where it's like you could just send them on a lower run specifically with like when you guys were talking about games, I was specifically thinking of the game design that you're talking about through the lens of Mewgenics, like similar to Marathon, like you kit out your cats when you send them on a run with like however many items that you have collected, and
barding.
Yeah. And you kind of have a choice of like, well, I have these like super rare items that are really powerful, and so I can equip them with the cats, but items don't last forever, where it's like basically in general you have items like for 2 runs essentially, because like items will become worn, and then if you take a worn item on a cat, it has like a 50% chance to break on a run,
regardless of what happens, of how well you do on that
whether
run.
you win or not. And so it's a difference in game design, because what it's trying to encourage you to do is like sift through and continually try new items, and then like, because the idea is like there's so much synergies among the items that if you find like a really powerful combo, they don't want you to just sit and use that for the entire game and just like run that through. So any sort of like synergy you find with items is a short-lived thing. It might last a couple runs, but then eventually you need to move on and try something else. So a point of going through a lower run is you could just equip no items, but they might be powerful enough to like win the battles anyway, and then you can just collect whatever items you pick up on the run and then bring them back. So that could be like another reason for doing it. But to be honest, like I play Act 1 a lot less, and I play Act 2 a lot less because of where I'm at.
So you just have these perfect cats piling up.
Yes.
Is there anything you can do with them? Can you feed them to the lower cats to make them basically like, can you prestige those cats into like better progression, for later ones? Is there a benefit? I guess
I did some shifting around with the house and some redecorating. So the cat fight club room has moved to the attic, so it's now the cat fight club attic. That's still alive and well, so that's where the fodder goes. And then if they want to survive and get better stats, they can win a fight and try and kill or be killed there. But like literally with that, like you get an item, a decoration item, where it's like cats fight more often. The reward that the cat that wins is doubled, so they get +2 stats of some kind, but then it's more deadly, so cats die more often. So yeah, but that kind of has like a dampening effect because cats don't last long in that room.
Okay.
So the best you'll get is maybe a cat who wins like 2 or 3 fights. So that's like +4, +6 stats above like whatever the base one is. So like you're looking at maybe like a +20 or something like that. But it is more rare because it's a very tenuous situation in there.
Is there anything about the attic that makes it the right place for Cat Fight Club?
It's like a triangle instead of a square. I don't know. There's more room, so you can pick out the dead bodies easier, I guess. I don't know. It was an arbitrary choice, more or less. There was a brief moment where, so like you can inspect the sexuality of your cats, but it's basically bi, straight, or gay are like the types that it can have, and they'll have like a flag if they're one or the other. But so that kind of like that influences where you like sort cats, because it's like if you have gay cats, they're not going to produce any offspring. So then you can either put them in another room or choose what to do with them or take them on runs, like that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. In an act of I don't know if it's progressivism or the opposite, I had a gay room where I put all my gay cats, and then
oh no, I don't like this at all. My god! I know. I like it. Just
It was great. They could have sex with one another, because if you mix the gay and straight cats, like sometimes one will want to have sex with the other, but the other's not into it, and so
okay.
As long as the rooms are separate but equal, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I understand. Like I understand this mechanically. It's just making you say extremely cursed sentences. Ben.
I know. But look, I thought it was the ethically high ground choice, because otherwise I'm sending the gay cats to the Fight Club attic, and that didn't feel right. So
right,
you know,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So,
that's reserved for the weaker cats.
yeah. All of this is to say is once you get to like the perfect stack cats, then you start focusing more on mutations, because one of the things you can do with rooms is certain decorations will increase the likelihood of your cat to mutate in some way. So it's like their arm might become like a giant ball that has like knockback effect, or something like that. So since when everything becomes perfectly statted, you start saying like, oh, this cat has a really strong mutation where it's like their base attack does this effect on people, and that's really good. So I'm going to try and start breeding that now and paying attention to that, and trying to make more of their offspring, or kind of put them in the king room or whatever to start breeding offspring from that. Mm-hmm. And kind of to support that is some of the runs that you can do in Act 3. If you get to the end and beat it, which is still pretty hard, even if you have like perfectly statted cats, it'll give you a really strong mutation for one of your cats. And then, so then you can say, okay, well now I want this to be in like as many offspring as I can. And so then that's what you're doing now, instead of looking at the numbers. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's,
is there any urgency of like, you get a really strong cat and it's like, I can only keep this around the house for so long before something bad happens to it. So I got to get together a run.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, to leverage them while they're in their prime.
There's not an urgency to get them on a run, but yeah, the cats live for like 20 to 30 days or something like that. And so,
So sorry, I didn't even think that they were modeling a lifespan. I'm thinking about it in terms of like Darkest Dungeon kind of stuff, where like, so when I described the high stat cats piling up, no, them cats are going to die. You're shipping them off in coffins.
But they're still going to pile up.
That's what cats do. Yeah.
More the urgency is like there's a room where it's like you kind of make as your best room, where it's like very comfortable, high stimulation, like high chance for mutation, high health, like that sort of thing. You put your best cat there and you find a cat that they will fall in love with, and they like consistently will produce a kitten like every day. And you do that, and then you take those kittens, and since it's a random draw, sometimes some of those kittens might be perfect statted, some of them might not be, but you put those in like another more commonplace room where you don't have inbreeding, or try and keep that. And then you try and make your actual army of cats through that. And then you just kind of change out who the king cat is. But all that, none of that's enforced. That's just like how I'm going about doing it. And that's kind of like the realization I've had about this game, is like, I have a similar feeling with this game as I do in programming in my job, where it's like, you might have this, like, I want to do this thing, like, and it could be like, I want to shuffle a deck of cards, or create a poker program or something like that, the implementation of how I do that is like completely up to me. And if somebody else does it, they could have a completely different set of logic to do the same problem. That's kind of what this game is like, where it's like, it's just giving you a house and cats, and they'll do whatever they do based on their environment, but it's very open-ended, like how you want to move them along. There's an entire...
Have you looked at anyone...
Okay. I was going to say...
Have you looked at anyone else's setup?
I've talked with friends like here and there, but it hasn't been like too... I think there are similar things. Like I think most people come to a conclusion there needs to be a Fight Club room, and like we'll create that. But yeah, I've only talked in passing. Like I haven't really done like deep dives on like Reddit or anything like that to kind of compare strategies.
It's a little bit like playing Satisfactory and then being like, I'm going to go and look and see how people's designs are, because it's going to change the way you play.
Yeah. So yeah, I think general tips kind of filter in, but I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if there's room for optimization in the same way as Satisfactory is, where it's like, this is how you build a nuclear plant.
You are always optimizing for space and for output, right?
Yeah,
as opposed to your goals over a campaign of Mewgenics sound like they're going to shift, right?
Yeah. And there's like an entire mechanic I haven't really engaged with here, where it's like you can make like a Donner Party situation where it's like if you stop feeding your cats, they'll start dying, and then they'll start eating corpses if there's no food for them to be fed.
Well, at least it's corpses.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that has a higher chance to create mutations.
It could be, yeah. So it's like that. There are certain corners of the game that I haven't even interacted with, but they also seem like bad things to be interacting with. So I don't know.
It's good to hear, Ben, that there are some lows you won't sink to.
Yeah, I mentioned like the disorders are also in general like pretty bad, but I could see there being room for experimentation. There's a few degenerate, or disorders or whatever that have like upsides. So I could see there being a place once you get developed enough to have like a room that's really low health and like purposely breed in like disorders to try and find one that you want, and then put them in a new room and try and breed that into people. Like, because there's like, just to give you an example, there's like one where it's like savantism, where it's like really high intelligence, but then really low on some other stats. But it's like you could combine that. There's like an item that averages out all your stats. So it's like you could just breed a bunch of those cats and give them this item, and then you virtually have like level 8 cats, or cats that have level 8 for every stat if you want. So there's like a bunch of room for experimentation like that with things that I haven't quite cracked yet or haven't explored, because I'm still trying to beat the mainline game. But anyway.
I can see you resisting the urge to go try setting that up as you're talking about it.
I need more rooms. All right. I need more rooms before I can do that. So I think that's all the progress that I've had in this past week. There is, I do see a path forward for me getting to the end game. The one thing you were talking about where it's Slay the Spire of like, what happens if everybody's the same class and that stacks? Like, that's something, again, I was seeing through the lens of Mewgenics, where there's like 3 random class collars you get, where it's just a random class every time. And I think I talked about this last time, where it's like they all happen to be the same kind one time, like randomly, which is kind of rare. And so then it's like, oh, I got to seize this opportunity. I'm sending 4 of the same class into a battle. That happened again this last week too, with a different class type. And it's like, that can be a huge advantage that you can capitalize on, but it's gated here where it's like, you can't pick that every time. That's just something you might get lucky, and then it's good for you to engage with it. But anyway, all right, that's all I say. Sorry, I'm talking so much about a game that's now a month and a half old and I've talked about every week, but
no, it's changing. It's
fun to hear people having fun with stuff.
It's an absurdly deep game, it sounds like. And
It is a big time commitment if you want to try and see like all the corners of it. And I think they kind of knew that going in. So that's why it's like, I was mentioning this in the green room, but it makes it almost harder to recommend to people, because it's like I'm approaching 200 hours in the game, and it's like that's not a light ask to tell someone to play that. But
okay, fine, I'll pick up Mewgenics too.
Do you have children, Dennis?
They can play too.
Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. They're asleep. I can do whatever I want. They're asleep. Not sleep. Know that.
Oh, what?
So I can do whatever I want when they are asleep, not sleep though.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
Because that would be the smart thing to do though.
Yes. Nice. So Mewgenics. Nothing else?
That's all I got.
Okay.
Multiplayer.
Now it is time for the multiplayer where we ask you a question and you answer it. Dennis, what is the question that you ask the nice people?
Yeah, looks can be deceiving. So we want to hear about the enemies in games that have the biggest delta between how dangerous they look and how dangerous they are. This could be they look cute and will wreck you, or they look dangerous, but they're kind of just cannon fodder.
Okay. That is good to know that it can work the other way around, because I am laboring under the cute but deadly. And I think maybe that's going to be the way that stuff goes. We have Jolly here who says Cairo mongrels from Lunar Eternal Blue are tough to kill with a high evasion and defense, along with the tendency to run from battle. If you tailor your party a certain way, you can farm them for Cairo tails, Cairo crests, and lots of money and EXP near the end of the game. I'm assuming Cairo instead of Chiro. Might be Chiro though. They look like little axolotls.
Yeah, I mean plushies is what they look like.
Yes. Well, I mean axolotls look like plushies. They're incredibly cute.
Very fair.
Incredibly cute little buds. Yeah. No, they sound like silver slimes or cactors a little bit. With the high evasion and defense kind of deal. Ben, what does the ugly machine say?
The ugly machine says the Dinari are a race from Star Control 2 that are the size and shape like a toad crossed with a bulb of garlic. They're capable of psychically controlling an entire planet. Only through causing yourself lethal amounts of pain can you break their control. Their slave race, the Quan, who eventually become the big bad of the game, fitted themselves with a device called the Excruciator to be forever free from their control. Then they genetically modified the Dinari and kept them as talking pets, who could now use their weak minds to translate for them.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like some Hyperion type stuff.
But yeah, Star Control 2 is fucking amazing. I'm surprised.
This feels like it's out of an Edward McMullen game.
I mean, yeah, no, they're like the Urquan. That's like straight up related to the plot. I'm surprised that Maddie didn't mention the ores, which are they're kind of like parrot head crab kind of things with like little stalk eyes, and they speak in kind of like a gibberish, like the it's almost entirely sound alike words because the translator can't actually speak to what they're doing. But, just like it can't, it's just kind of like nearest match kind of stuff. But if you translate it and if you look at the meaning behind what it's actually saying, they are telling you the actual plot of the game and like what the true danger are. And it's like if you decided that you wanted to fight the ores, they're not operating on the same dimension that you are. They can destroy everything. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, those are the ores. That's what they're. They're kind of like tennis balls that speak in code.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Let's see here, Dennis. What does Threnza say?
Threnza says Scarfies in the Kirby series look all cute and innocent until you make them mad before making the switch to a demonic gnashing threat and one of the few things Kirby can't swallow. Ooh. Also, shout out to Kirby for also being an adorable, huggable god destroying galactic tier entity of unlimited cuteness.
Yeah. No, that was an early joke about Kirby, is that he's a he is an eldritch monstrosity.
Yeah, it technically could be an enemy like in Super Smash Bros. So counts as an answer.
I mean, if we're bringing Smash Brothers into this, then you get Jigglypuff, right?
Yes,
very specialized, but can fuck you up. Let's see. Random Sum says Rock Lizards, Dark Souls 3. I love them. I died. I can't remember what Dark Souls 3 Rock Lizard.
You've repressed that game.
I haven't repressed it. It's just been forever. These are they are the evolution of the little pinata enemies. That are like you destroy them and you get a bunch of upgrade materials. They're all grown up now and they can fuck you up. And you encounter one like right away in the in the shared grave.
Back?
Yeah, the big ones do. Yeah, no, the small ones just run away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the crystal lizards, the rock lizards are a real mess.
Got it.
Yeah. Ben, what does Callum say?
Yeah, I like Callum's answer. He said, the necromorphs in Dead Space. Sure, they look terrifying, but once you get how to dismember them, they're fairly easy to fight.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's the reverse example.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got at least one of those in. I haven't seen the rest of them. Let's see. Dennis, what does Lucy say?
Lucy says the fighting game reference is probably Neko Arc, the joke character from Melty Blood who fights by breaking the fourth wall and showering you with memes. My second answer, personally, is Flea Man from Castlevania. In a game full of large, scary-looking sprites and demon gods, the Flea Men remain one of my least favorite adversaries because they're impossible to hit. Just a little guy, but he's coming out right at me. Oh my god!
They move very unpredictably. Mm-hmm. And they're tiny, so you have less of a chance to hit them as they are arcing at you. At least something like a Medusa head always comes in a sine wave, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They kind of don't respond to anything you do except trying to evade and then attack. Yeah, Flea Men are good. And then I recognize Neko. I recognize Neko Arc because Moxie has shared an image of this thing previously. Yes. Let's see. Giblets says the mine at the start of Claire Obscure. It's right at the start of the game and looks pretty silly, so you guess it's probably easy, but it turns out to be pretty brutal. I can't remember if I never beat it or was only able to do it once I had a full crew, so I could actually survive. Sounds like the combat dummy in Undertale, actually. Yeah.
I remember the mine. That was the first time it actually attacks is a real holy shit moment.
Does it check out? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I always want to make sure our listeners aren't lying to us. Yeah. Ben, what does Count Zero Or say?
Count Zero Or says, a more serious answer, Gon from Tekken 3. He's an unlockable character you get after you've beaten the arcade mode twice, and because he's small little T-Rex, he's a very small target, so he's very hard to hit. Basically, you can only use low attacks against him, and because if how arcade mode works, that means once you've unlocked him, there's a chance he'll show up on your run, which will suck.
Oh, that sucks.
Odd job rules in play here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up as Odd Job, which, God, 30 years later.
Some wounds don't heal.
No, they really don't. And Dennis, what does Lucario Speedwagon? That's a fucking great name. So that is amazing. Really good.
Our first ever Reddit response. So there's a Duckfeed.tv subreddit now. So I'll try to put these questions in there. They say, any field boss in Dragon's Dogma, to the nearest cliff with them. Is that a way to cheese the bosses?
Sounds like it. Yes.
Okay. Nice.
You can't do that with the field bosses in Elden Ring.
No. Would be nice if you could, though.
Yeah. My answer is going to be a Dark Souls one because this just comes to mind because I have a little 3D printed figurine of them that Gary got me. The Mushroom Men from Dark Souls. That you find in Darkroot Garden. They're so dumpty. They have my exact body type. And you like the big ones and the small ones just kind of like both just kind of like toddle around like lumber or whatever. But all it takes is just like one punch to fucking lay you out. Yeah. They mess you up. They mess you up rightly.
So the shape belies a very intimidating figure under there.
They're basically what if a Dark Souls enemy was Butterbean, the boxer, who I only know from the Jackass movie. Like, okay, it's we're gonna Johnny Knoxville fighting Butterbean in like a department store. He just gets knocked out. He gets a concussion from one punch, and like after there's work to revive him, he wakes up and he asks, "Is Butterbean okay?" like the funniest thing that's ever happened in a movie. Like nothing somebody wrote ahead of time could ever be that funny.
Yeah, to be able to have that kind of comedic timing after a concussion really says something.
Yeah. Ben, how about you?
I got two. The one that looks weak but is strong is the chickens in Zelda. Was the first thought that came to mind.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do a mild spoiler for Jedi Survivor for people who haven't played that. But there's a really good bit in there where a boss battle happens with Rick, the door technician, who's just a stormtrooper. But the boss meter comes up and everything, and then you just one-shot them and they die. So it's like,
I love that.
It's pretty awesome.
That's a similar gag. Did you ever play Spider-Man 2, like the PlayStation 2 Xbox game?
I did. Oh yeah, that's right. In the Mysterio, right?
The Mysterio boss fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's like most of the way through the game, he shows up and his health bar fills up multiple times, like different colors, and it's just one punch and he goes out.
Yeah.
Dennis, how about you?
Yeah, mine is on the looks scary but is easy front. I mean, basically everything in Diablo games.
Okay.
Those games are so themed in the most like grim, dark, grisly way possible. But the actual mechanics of what you're doing is just mindlessly ripping through hundreds of these enemies at once. So there's so much great scary visual design that's wasted because they pop like a balloon in half a second.
And it's just all just clicking. It's all clicks. Yeah. Good question. I like this. Thank you everybody for responding. If you would like to participate in these, you can go to, a bunch of places, but primarily Blue Sky, the levelpodcast.bsky.social. Watch for the prompts to go up on Monday afternoons, and sometimes they pop up in other places. Who knows? Thank you, Dennis.
The End Boss.
Now it is time for the End Boss, where we talk about the things that are happening in the world of video games and how we feel about them. Ben, what is happening in Crimson Desert?
Yeah, this one kind of blew up over the last week. So Crimson Desert, it kind of had a lot of hype. It just released this past Thursday, I believe. It's like
Skyrim Keller, people are calling it.
Yeah, and like just massive open world game. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of mixed hype, but it was under embargo. Got released on like Thursday or Friday. And within a day or so, people online on like Reddit started posting like, oh, hey, this looks like AI art in the game. And they would just show like in a house, there might be a framed portrait. And if you look at the portrait, it's like not just like AI, but like bad AI, like AI from like 3 or 4 years ago, where it's like random limbs missing on horses and stuff. And so
this is the first time that I'm seeing this. This is a fucking mess.
Yeah. And so over the next
Is this related to Black Desert?
Same company. This is a single player game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
South Korean MMO.
Okay. So so after and over the next day or two, like people posted more examples online where it's like clearly this was not made by an artist because like why? What would the intent be and why would they put this here? You know, like that sort of thing. And so there's like varying level of like kind of egregiousness of examples. And then kind of the big problem with this is Steam has an AI policy which they had not posted anything under for AI disclosure.
You need to disclose. That was a big problem with 11-bit with the alters.
Yeah. And so kind of after a lot of pressure was kind of put on them after another day or two, they released like a statement on their Steam AI policy and updated it and said something to the effect of, oh, well, we used AI as like a supplementary thing to put in like placeholder art, but then we wanted to make sure that everyone would, do a pass and do actual art before that made it to the final game. And these were kind of mistakes that got through, which is like on the one hand,
you got caught.
On the one hand, I have a little bit of empathy for them because it's like if you're looking at a game, you probably have a database of like all these images, and it's probably
a huge project. So many people are involved. Yeah,
but
you should have a process. There should be a procedure.
And here's like the thing is, it's like you should have had that updated in the policy to begin with before you released. And so like that's kind of the bigger problem that I see, where it's like it's not necessarily that the pipeline they had was like unethical or like not not good for them to do, but the fact that they didn't disclose any of that at all until they got caught, until they got like had public pressure, like that's kind of seen in bad faith, I guess. So yeah, and then kind of with this, kind of the hype has kind of oscillated, I guess. I think the final...
Also, people played the game and were like, oh, this is kind of soulless, is the main thing I've seen against it. Yeah.
I've seen, I guess the IGN review gave it a 6 out of 10 as the final review, which is like, I haven't...
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's in the gutter for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So... And which is weird because it's like, they do the like, this is our review so far or whatever. And that was like their final score. But it's like, man, that seems awfully reactionary in the opposite direction, like where it's like, but from what I've seen, it seems like the user score is like a lot higher than the critic score on this. So I don't know. I'm leaving room for some doubt that it could be a fun game, but I don't know.
It just seems like quantity over quality. To me.
Yeah. And it certainly doesn't seem like a, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game where it's like, oh, you got to play it. So I'm perfectly fine not even thinking about this game for the near future.
It is so sad that, to me, that I know there are people who want a game that they can just throw, infinite amounts of time at. And then because it's getting shit for using AI, they will decide like, no, I'm going to really invest in this.
Well, yeah. People are going to be reflexive.
I don't know.
Yeah. They're going to be oppositional defiant about it. Yeah.
Well, if they listen to this podcast, we've already given them multiple infinite games that they can play. So there's no dearth of those in the industry right now, but
like I know you want me to play Crimson Desert, but I don't know if that's the right choice.
Might be cool stuff in there, but I just there's and it's just like this is going to be, you kind of can't control you can control, you just can not use this in your pipeline, but like you're not going to get away with it. People are going to notice. Like you have the entire internet out there looking for stuff.
I do hope that that's the takeaway, is that other game companies see this and see the non-disclosure at the beginning and like that sort of turn, and see that as like a warning and be like, all right, well, let's at least be honest up front and blah, blah, blah.
If a developer like in their disclosures, or just like when they released it, said, hey, we used AI placeholder in this, we tried to get rid of all of it, etc., I wouldn't like give them flowers or anything, but like as a way to get out ahead of it, to feel like they're not trying to get one over on anybody, then all right, well, and that's been my stance on all this, to begin with, like disclose so I can make my decision. Don't don't try to hide it, because you are going to get caught.
Going back to Skyrim, what did they do for art in their games? Like, because that was before you could AI generate.
Well, that's that's the wonderful thing about this is, this has happened a few times now. Whenever it happens, more and more developers, in the indie space, or sometimes pulling stuff from projects that are like long gone, that are just way in the past. They're like, okay, well, you don't need to use AI for placeholder assets. In fact, the standard process was to do something incredibly shitty in such a garish way that even if it's not flagged in the content management system or whatever, that, hey, this is a placeholder, anybody who looks at it or find it would take it away. Like it would look like a placeholder. One of my favorite examples from this go around is people posting. Actually, there are two really good examples. First, seeing the placeholder from Blasphemous, which is just MS Paint like blobs for the damage zones on what would eventually become these incredibly ornate boss designs. But Slay the Spire cards, which is like literally just like MS Paint stick figures.
That's the problem. Is the Slay the Spire ones actually like people liked, and they did a
you have to toggle, or you can
intentionally shitty designed series that like you unlock the beta art for cards.
Oh, that's wonderful. I adore that.
People,
There's
no AI used.
There's an industry story of somebody designing like a front end thing to look so bad because it's like, all right, I'll fix this later. But then nobody wanted to fix it later. So it's just like, oh, now we have this really ugly looking UI thing, but this is what we're using. So
yeah, I love it. Humans made this. It's great. Like we make irrational decisions. Like stuff has charm. It's wonderful. Yeah. No, the number of placeholder voiceovers that I did back when I worked in video, like just like, okay, we need to get an animatic out. I'm going to record the script because I know it. I wrote it. I can literally just knock this out at home. And And then there's like, comes time. Okay, so who do you want to do the voiceover? Like, oh, this isn't the final. Well, we'll just use you. Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
great.
Going back to the Skyrim question too, it's like since game prices haven't really changed in the past like 20 years, it's like, they probably had twice as much money to pay for people, based on the industry. So.
Yeah. Well,
Craziness.
bad on Crimson Desert.
Yep.
I wonder how many people it will take for big publishers and developers to learn. I would say infinite. I don't think they're ever going to learn. I think we're just stuck with this for a long time.
They just closed down
a developer can
studios.
do a great job and still get everyone laid off seconds after launch. So,
Well, look at
feel
Fortnite. Like the actual performance and quality of the game has nothing to do with whether or not the developers are going to be safe. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's a story I specifically didn't bring because it's such a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
Any more stuff about Crimson Desert?
No, that's it.
Okay. Dennis, what'd you bring for us?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a story where AI actually does something good.
Okay.
No. So we've been hearing about how just the way prices have skyrocketed for memory and processing power because of all the data centers is making it impossible to have hardware for the stuff we want it for. And we now have, I think, the first console level casualty of that crazy situation. It's a not a main, big three console. It's the, I'm going to say this wrong, Neo next.
One of these handheld PC, Ioneo looks about right. Yeah. Just would be similar to like the Asus ROG Ally.
So they quote unquote kickstarted on Indiegogo, and had the same concept as the Steam Deck, kind of high end specs, also fitting in your backpack. It's a $2,000 machine. Already, so that is not a low price tag.
It's for people who mean it. Yeah.
Yes. Only now even those people can't mean it because the way prices have skyrocketed, they've announced they have to cancel the system.
So fucking bad.
This is an entire system, the next two, that is now not going to exist just because it does not make financial sense to make it at a fucking $2,000 price.
Yeah.
You would think that there would be a little bit good on them for pricing it like, no, our margin is reasonable. Like, this is not completely inflated. Like, we're going to be giving you what you're buying mostly. Yeah.
So surprisingly clear-eyed from them, because they would have to charge $4,000, so double the price to make this make sense. And they said, we believe that continuing to sell the next two under the current circumstances could potentially harm the interests of consumers and ultimately affect the long-term development of the brand.
Yeah. You're going to undercut demand in the future because you're going to sell these at $2,000, and then the next time you do any kind of revision or the next one, it's going to be twice as expensive. You're going to undercut it.
Yeah.
So I mean, baked into that is the assumption that the brand will continue to exist if you have to cancel an entire console generation. But
pretty
that's
unfortunate
that's
since RAM isn't getting twice as better year over year.
Yeah.
I just like, God, it's even dumber. It's not like just that RAM is being used in data centers. It is that the hyperscalers have bought out future capacity, not just for data centers that haven't been built yet, but for data centers that haven't even been paid for yet. So like
that will be canceled when the hype, whatever.
Yeah, hey, we're starting to see it.
It's all speculation.
They're shutting down Sora. Yeah, it's all speculation. But like, this is just, we intend to use this, and we have penned an agreement maybe to buy this, and suddenly future capacity is all brought up, and nobody can actually get the chips that they need. Nobody can get the wafers.
Yeah, that's where it gets shitty, is when it butts up against like actual consumers and like their desires. It's similar to like housing in the United States as well. It's like, this should probably be a 2-lane system that can't impact one another.
And that
would make sense.
And like, there's another story that kind of came out where Nintendo has cited worse than expected holiday sales for them cutting a third, I believe, off of the number of Switch 2s they're going to be manufacturing. That also has to be them saying, we're not going to make a whole bunch of these because they're going to be way more expensive and we don't want to raise the price.
Yeah.
Everything is going to get more expensive. A couple of weeks ago, I think, when I brought the Steam box, being delayed, where I was like, we have got no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Well, and using this as a leading indicator of what's going to happen there. Like, everyone who is hyped for the Steam machine better just, get used to waiting.
Yeah.
Get used to waiting.
I mean,
or
it's Valve,
really expect
so,
sticker shock on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was
just
kind of
going to enter
anyway.
chip manufacturing to solve the problem.
So
the hero
dumb.
we need.
Yeah, Valve is going to spin up a chip foundry. Oh my god, that's a fucking nightmare.
I hope there will be weeks where we can bring less bummer stories. But yeah, that's where we're at now.
I've got a story that conditionally might be a bummer for some people, but actually sounds kind of rad to me.
Okay. That's a weird way to phrase not a bummer story.
It's something that like people possibly could react negatively to, but I can see the place for it. So everybody knows I like telling sicko stories about playing EverQuest, right? Like that, a couple of years ago, or maybe sometime recently, I went back and I did the the fan server thing, and I like spun up like 6 different characters and figured out the macros to play them all at once, so I could go and kind of play throwback EverQuest, because that was a huge deal to me when I was like in middle school and high school, right? That was my WoW. By the time WoW came around, I tried it, but it wasn't so much for me. Mm-hmm. Well, Sony. Or no, it's not even Sony anymore. Who the fuck is this now? The company that is currently responsible for EverQuest.
Daybreak Game Company?
Yeah, Daybreak. Thank you. Has announced a beta for something that they are calling EverQuest Legends. Now, this is not the EverQuest Legends that came out for the PlayStation 2, which was a prequel, a console MMO prequel to EverQuest. This is a new thing, EverQuest Legends, that is using the original graphics and spell effects and all of that, but to give you an early EverQuest experience that has been kind of like rebalanced and redesigned for like solo and casual play. I have no idea what the total market is for this. Right?
You.
Like it is literally, it's just me. It is just fucking 30. It is just 38 to 43-year-olds who happen to be using computers at a particular time. Like, they're going to make $20 off of the back of this. Nobody's going to fucking want it. But I have already signed up for the beta on this. I want to see this. I want to play around with it. I want to run around in those places, because the last time I did it was not enough.
Okay, are you sure this isn't an elaborate phishing scam?
Yeah,
is this a trap? Is this like a Harlan Ellison thing? Am I getting I have no mouth? Yeah. Okay.
It's like the game.
I already signed up for it. Oh no, I'm on the hook for somebody's life insurance.
I mean, we already established this is not the real Kaye on the call with us.
Yeah, no, it's her blood though. And redesigned from the ground up to appeal to players who enjoy playing their games solo and or casually. But like for like taking like, okay, we have these fan servers, and they already have like WoW, like a throwback kind of stuff on their official servers. They have like servers specifically for that. But just to do the WoW Classic kind of version and say we want to try and, call people back, or I mean, with WoW Classic,
I was still multiplayer.
What's that?
The WoW Classic was still multiplayer though.
Yeah, no, this isn't just solo play. It's also solo and casual, right? So like, you can still play this with other people, but like WoW Classic, that's not just that is not just appealing to people who played it back in the day. Like, I, at least anecdotally, my little sister loves WoW Classic. She was not of WoW playing age when that era of WoW was out, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this might get a couple more people. I don't know. seems cool to me. I'm excited. I have no idea how smart the business decision is, but I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll play this.
Okay, yeah, let's marathon this. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Unless this is a trap specifically for me, and then like all of the walls of my apartment are going to fall down, and then like I get tased and then wake up in a featureless room somewhere.
When's the beta release for this?
Unknown. They just have on their website. They have a they just have a sign up. Yeah,
sweet.
Looks cool to me. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to call
Ending
that a positive story
note.
to end it.
Yes.
Yeah, dope.
I thought this was going to be a shorter episode because it was 3 style, but we had shit to say. How do you all feel about buttoning it up?
We got the yapper combination right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chatty Cathy's over here.
The credit.
Thank you so much for listening to level number 578. We appreciate you taking the time. You know what to do. You can leave us a rating or review. You can follow us on social media, Blue Sky. You can go to Reddit and search for the Duckfeed.tv subreddit. Participate there when those go up. And yeah, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/DuckFeed.tv. Dennis, anything happening with Deck of Wonders?
Yeah, we did have the Pledge Manager go live. What was that, a week or two ago?
Sweet.
2 weeks ago? Yeah, so we are getting the final files to the manufacturer now, and then it's just a matter of time before it shows up at your doorstep. So
Fantastic.
check out the Pledge Manager on GameFound.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've been Kaye. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaye.zone.
I've been Dennis Furia. You can find me on Blue Sky at Furia Games.
And I've been Ben Merkel.
And stick around for some titles. All right, who has some titles?
I have just 2.
Okay, let me see here.
Yep. The first, I think those are both K quotes. So,
oh, okay.
Go K. I've got Grace, the main villain. And then I have perfect cats piling up.
Okay.
I got 1. I have, it was only funny because no one was meaningfully hurt.
What was that?
Dennis said it about kids riding a bike.
Okay.
The what was it? Target fixation or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I have 2. I have Staph McRacken.
I meant to write that one down and I forgot.
And I have, well, at least it's corpses.
I'm down with the Staph McRacken episode.
Yeah. Staph McRacken is pretty good.
I spelled it because this is the way that I pictured it when I said it. STAPH MCRACKEN. Staph McRacken. Okay. All right.
Amazing.
It is decided.